2022 feels like a fever dream. It was a year that a lot of us had so many high hopes for. Dreams of travelling the world, or even just travelling the country after the dreaded C word, getting our lives back on track, feeling excited and at peace with life again. I could have never imagined what 2022 would bring me. Although I'm so lucky to have experienced all of those things, travel, peace and excitement for life, I also experienced some of the darkest and most difficult moments of my life last year. 2022 was a crazy, intense learning experience that truly changed me for the better. I started the year as I do most, full of life and excitement at the possibilities the year would hold. I had so many goals and dreams and no idea how to start them, but I had faith that things would eventually figure themselves out somehow. My family and I booked our first trip back to Italy since before 2019, and this filled me with energy, excitement and inspiration. After the initial excitement though, I crashed. I wanted my life to be perfect and accomplished before I went to Italy. I wanted to launch my business, save more money, get fit and healthy. I put such an immense amount of pressure on myself that I ended up being unable to get out of bed for weeks on end. I was drifting through life and days were passing me by. I can't begin to explain how guilty I felt for this. I was constantly comparing myself to others. After a little therapy, I gradually changed my way of thinking. Instead of comparing myself to people online, I compared myself to my past self. If today's me got out of bed and made one TikTok, that was better than yesterday's me. I allowed myself to be proud of these small victories and I took life one step at a time. Eventually, these small steps led to me finally launching my website for Studio Sopraño right before Italy, and I had a successful launch, selling out of all of my prints. This was one of my proudest moments of 2022. Then we travelled to Italy. I can't even begin to explain what it felt like being in Italy again, my ancestral home, the home of my soul, where all of my happiest childhood memories were made. It was a perfect summer. Well, I wish I could say it was as perfect and as peaceful as I had dreamt it would be, but I ended up being hit with the biggest wave of grief I've felt since my mum died. My mum is everywhere in Italy, in the smell of the hot sun, baking cobblestone streets, the sparkling ocean, the quiet, cool churches, and the low pink summer moon. Every corner I turned, I saw and felt her presence and her absence. I had just found out some family news that made me miss her and my old family life so much. On this trip, I was grieving the loss of my childhood self. My family and these trips back to Italy would never be the same. In between these moments of grief, I swam and I journaled and I read and I danced and made new friends and got sunburned. This trip changed me in ways I could have never imagined. Even though I was terribly sad for most of it, it gave me so much insight and healing into how I want to continue in my life. I arrived back in Australia on unsteady feet but continued to be gentle on myself. The remaining months of the year flew by and I experienced a few more tricky lows before finding my feet again. But I did find them. With newfound inspiration from Italy and a calling from my mum, I worked hard on Studio Sopraño and even started ceramics again for the first time since finishing uni. I put myself out there, made new friends and strengthened existing friendships. And by the end of the year, I felt the most happy and content with who I was. So here we are. 2023. I'm entering this year so at peace with my current journey. Everything in my life seems to have aligned just so for this year, my 25th year, to be incredible. I'm so excited to learn, grow, travel, create and love in 2023, and I'll be bringing you along for the journey.